I was sitting in the same seats as you guys today. After graduating class of 2009, 823. At IS 238, I went to Bar High School Early College, where I took 2 years of accelerated high school courses, and then another 2 years of college courses for 60 credits. And in a couple of weeks, June 27th, I'll be getting my associate's degree. It's a beautiful women's college, and I'm so in love with it. They accepted all of my credits from bar, so in another 2 years, I will have my bachelor's in Chinese education. Afterwards, I hope to enroll in an 11-month master's program in education there and receive my first graduate degree at 19 years old. Three secrets or tips, if you will, that took me from those seats to where I am today with the accomplishments that I have. And I'm just going to take 15 minutes of your time, I promise. The theme for your class is perseverance. And I want you guys to know that when you're persevering and working hard, it's not just for anything. It's not because your parents told you to. It's because you're going to be successful. Do you guys want to be successful? All right. So, like I said, I was in class 823, that's on the 3rd floor, and for the most part, all of my classes were on the 3rd floor besides gym, and all of my friends were on the 3rd floor, all the teachers that I liked were on the 3rd floor, so I stayed on the 3rd floor. But whenever I had to go to the 2nd floor to look for a teacher or to go to the auditorium for something, I would be with Aladdin on a magic carpet ride to a whole new world. Because it was so unfamiliar to me. And likewise, you guys are in a similar position where there are billions of people on this earth, and hundreds of cultures and languages and job opportunities that you haven't even heard of yet. And when you come to experience them, they're going to be a whole new world. But in order to hear about them and experience them, you guys need to take the opportunities to do so. And that brings me to my first point. Take opportunities. The theme for my class in 2009 was change. And when I was in your seats, I was ready for change. After high school, the next big change is high school.
After junior high school.
And my homeroom teacher, Miss Playboy, I'll look for her after this. But my homeroom teacher, Miss Playboy, she handed me this huge book that was half the size of her tiny Filipino frame. She told me that this was the book, and Miss Houseborn, I'm sure she handed it to you guys too. It's the book of high schools in New York. And you know what? I flipped through every single page. Even if I didn't read it, I scanned it because you know why? That was my future. So this one is for the parents. One day I came home, right? And I was happy because I was lugging this big book of my future around, right? So my mom is at the stove. We're Canadian, so she cooking hot and sausage, right? She did what she gotta do. And I come in as happy as ever. I'm ready to look for my future. But she thought I was a little too happy. She asked me this tone, how was your day? Parents, have you ever used that tone with your kids? How was your day? And I told her, my day is fine. What you got there? And of course I told her when she was using that tone with me. And she was like, that's great. Later we can look through the book together and we can look for our future, and it's going to be so much fun. Don't start without me, like she was the one who was graduating. And I'll tell you, I had more overall enthusiasm than SpongeBob. Like, I was ready. I was ready. Afterwards, she introduced me to the specialized high schools and to Bar High School Early College teams. In other words, she Like, I'm positive many of your parents did force me to apply. I didn't take too kindly at the time because, like I said, it was my future. But now I realize that she didn't just force me to apply, she forced me to take a really unique opportunity. And because she forced me to take that opportunity, I'm 16 years old about to get my associates. Yes. I said 16, not 17, not 18, not 17 and a half or 17 and a quarter. On my first day at school, at Bard, they have these workshops that are supposed to get you acclimated to the atmosphere at Bard. So, in my workshop, they did these really corny infantile icebreakers, like Duck Duck Goose and the Big Wind Blows. Let me tell you, I sat there, I can't even reach my seat. I sat there like this, and I crossed my arms like you would have thought. But as time went on, I joined the games, and somehow it came out that I was a little younger than everyone else. Not just by a year, it's not that much. And everyone was like, wow, a whole year younger. And to be honest, I didn't feel wow. And even now when people give me that reaction, I still don't feel wow. It just so happened that when I was in first grade or second grade or third grade or whatever grade it was that I did, I happened to read a little faster than my peers. And when given the opportunity to challenge myself, I took it. It's not that I'm smarter than anyone here. It's just that I was presented with an opportunity and I grabbed it. Bard was one place to challenge myself. And Mount Holyoke, the college I'm going to in the fall, is another place. It's a women's college. So one of the funniest questions that people ask me when I tell them that I went to Mount Holyoke is, are you gay? Ladies and gentlemen, the answer is no, but that's irrelevant. The question reflects the impression that people have of women's colleges. And I will not lie, I had the same impression a year ago. A Mount Holyoke representative came to visit my school on a college visit, and we clicked. And after she left, my guidance counselor, Elena, she told me, you should go to visit the school. And I was thinking in my head when she told me that, like, Elena, when I think of women's college, I think of lesbianism and feminism and bra burning, and that's not my lifestyle. But it turns out the trip was free. So free is my lifestyle. And I went. When I tell you that I went, my mind was blown. It was nothing like what I thought it would be, and the campus was so beautiful, and the people were so amazing. And it just so happened that when I went, the Black Alumni Conference was finishing. And this was relevant. It was relevant. And I have never seen so many beautiful, strong, successful Black women in one place. And when I tell you they were successful, I don't mean, oh my God, I married my husband, he makes so much money. I mean, they worked hard to get to where they were, and they did it by themselves. I was impressed and empowered. After that, we went to this identity seminar. And as soon as I read the word identity seminar, I just assumed it was going to be an awkward therapy session. And it turns out that it was a place where I could talk about things that were really awkward to talk about elsewhere. I could learn more about myself, and I fell in love. So, when you look for an opportunity or you're given an opportunity, do not say you would have thought. Do not say that is my lifestyle. Don't say nobody got time for that. Because if it hadn't been, you guys are not done. If it hadn't been for Elena, if it hadn't been for my mother, who forced me to take those opportunities, then I wouldn't be where I am today. You guys, you all need to be your own mother and be your own Elena. and force yourself to take opportunities. Interestingly enough, one of the ways that you can tell that someone has worked really hard is by looking at how weird they are. I thought, yes, all right. And when I say weird, I just mean different. And that leads me to my second point. You can't be successful unless you're different. It's not normal to work hard and be successful. It's not normal. And I know that I'm going to just take a second to wait for you guys to quiet down a little bit, because I don't do the disrespect thing. Thank you so much. Like I said, it's not normal for people to be as successful as you guys are today. There are hundreds of students in this school, and there must be over 100 people in your class alone. And there's less than 30 of you here today on the stage, and there's definitely less than 50 students in this audience. You guys aren't normal. I don't know what you did. I don't know if you have no life and you study all the time. I don't know if you have life and you go to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning doing your projects. I don't know if it has nothing to do with you and you have really strict parents. But I recognize the success that's in each and every one of you. When I was in middle school and high school, early high school, I had another word for being different. I was weird. I wore really big glasses, much bigger than this. Big braces. I probably still need them. Really long skirts, and I always carried a big book. You can ask Miss Poyser. I went to her office every morning reading a book. I was intellectual, or nerdy, whatever you want to call it, and Bart embraced that. It'll save you guys a lot of stress, a lot of stress, to find people and places that accept you for being different. They don't have to like it. They just have to expect it. But being different is what makes you who you are. And I promise you, right now you're in middle school and you want to do what everyone else is doing and wear what everyone else is wearing. But there's going to come a point in your life where you have to figure out what makes you different from the person sitting next to you. And if you've wanted to be like everyone else your whole life, you're not going to know who you are. It's going to help you from moral beliefs, to stress in school, to the opposite sex, to violence and bullying. It will help you, I promise. And it's not always easy to be different. It's definitely not always easy to be different. Like I said, Bart embraced my intellectual side, but in secular academic environment, it wasn't hospitable to my religious beliefs. In one of my classes, we were reading the Bible, right? I'm Christian. So I was a missionary. The whole 2 weeks we were reading that text. And then right after that text, we read Charles Darwin on the Origin of Species. And Charles Darwin, he undermines the Bible saying that God didn't immediately create us and he didn't create us individually. Now, as far as I'm concerned, God is the answer to everything. I don't know what you believe, but for me, if you ask me, how did we get here, God? Who made God? What time is it, God? Are there life forms out there? Yes, and his name is G-O-D, God. God. Reading a text that said otherwise was really awkward, and it was uncomfortable for me. But you know what? Reading that text forced me to ask some really, really difficult questions. Like, Cari, how do you know God is real? And if he's real, then why is there so much suffering in the world? But by asking those questions to myself, I solidified my belief and my identity. Besides being a wonderful, and I admit a corny piece of advice, being different isn't just for you. It's also for your future in terms of careers and college. Last year, we were applying for colleges, and my peers were scrambling what made them different, because they all listened to what was playing on the radio, and they all wore what was in style, and they all wore their hair long and straight. But I had been accumulating a laundry list of things that made me different from since I was sitting in your seats. So I had no problem about writing what made me unique. My personal essay on my college application encompassed my Jamaican heritage, my Pentecostal Christian beliefs, my job at the Hall of Science, and everything else that set me apart from everyone else. Mount Holyoke appreciated and accepted me. And I promise you that wherever you guys are going, that they're going to appreciate what makes you guys different too. Finally, when you're persevering for success, persevere for inspiration. This does not just mean, oh my God, I love Beyonce, she is so beautiful, I want to be just like her when I grow. No, it means that people are always watching you, and that you need to learn to be an inspiration to someone else. The two easiest ways to do this are to follow my last two tips, which were one, look for opportunities, and two, be different. Last year, my school had just finished putting on a show, International Night. And like the name suggests, it's a place where, the Asians can cook up their rice and the Jamaicans can cook up the ackee and saltfish, and everyone can bring something to the table. So I sang Jamaica Land We Love, the Jamaican national anthem. That night when I got home, I was tired. You ever been so tired, I was tired, and I showered, I wrapped my hair, I jumped in my PJs, and I was ready to go to bed, and then the second that I was about to lay my head on that pillow, my phone vibrated. Facebook notification. It wasn't even a real Facebook notification, it was one of those game requests. I was so annoyed. But I figured, you know what, let me just take 2 seconds to like all the posts about International Night. So I'm on Facebook, scrolling through the newsfeed, and I see some of the to be honest posts. You guys know about that? All right. I'm not too old yet. Saw I turned up from a random freshman. I vaguely recognized her name. Some people on Facebook be acting, you recognize her from somewhere. Barely recognized her. And I was like, all right, I figured she's just going to say something nice about International Night and how she enjoyed it. 5 minutes later, someone please explain to me why this little girl who I barely recognized sent me 3 paragraphs. I saw her face go, yeah. 3 paragraphs on how she admired me and how I'd inspired her to be more active in school. I wasn't expecting that. There was someone who was watching me in a way that I wasn't expecting. But I'm telling you guys to expect it. There are 6th graders in the room. Can the 6th graders raise their hands? Oh, that's all. All right. There are a lot of 6th graders in the room right now who are watching you guys. You guys need to be very wary of whatever you do. I know sometimes you want to try a little bit of this and you want to try a little bit of that. But if it just so happens that there's someone watching you who watches you try a little bit of that, you might be a negative influence on them. And that's not a good thing when you're so smart and all of you are so beautiful and handsome through God's Lord, God that are here. Like I said, don't forget there's always someone watching and learning. And as you guys watch me and hopefully learn something new today, I want you to know and remember, don't just forget this, remember that striving and persevering for success is 1, looking for
opportunity.
2, oh nice, and 3, be an inspiration. Yes. These are 3 branches that are going to continually help you up and up as you fly to the treetop. You guys need to make this flight for the 6th graders who are looking from below, hoping to be where you are. For the people above, like me, who are hoping you can rise even higher. And for yourselves. Congratulations. Fly high.